So tonight's class is on Beyond Anti-Aging, the new era of skin longevity. So I thought just to share sort of what the new trends in skincare is. Just note this is international trends, so it means South Africa will probably be 2 years behind it. But currently in cosmetics, these are the things that have featured. So a couple of years ago, 2023, all the brands were focused on the microbiome and barrier repair. That was a really big thing. It is still a big thing. It's still very relevant, but it's not such a big focus now. But there is a lot of brands that brought in either prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics, because if there is issues with your barrier, you can apply what you want. You won't get the results that you're trying to achieve. 2024 was the beginning of the exosomes. It's still very big. I think it started with the aesthetic market. Basically, a lot of injectable exosomes as well. They were getting great results. They're even injecting it into the scalp these days. And that was a type of a change. Instead of just an ingredient that sits on top of your skin and it maybe hydrates or have some sort of effects, the exosomes are messengers. So they fuse with your cells. They give them those instructions how to regenerate. There's a lot of data on that in terms of wound healing, etc. So that was also a big thing. So what is happening currently when it comes to cosmetic companies, cosmetic ingredients manufacturers? So there is a definite move away from anti-aging and to longevity. So it's not so much about stopping aging, but it's more about reprogramming your cells to behave younger. So, yeah, like they said to me as well, the question driving all of this is, what if you could teach your skin cells to behave younger? So this is not anti-aging, this is reprogramming cellular behavior. So old type of skincare of old brands or old products were all very much aimed at masking the symptoms. The new paradigm is to change the signal and change the way that the cell is behaving. If you think about it, like this just gives you an overview. You get some ingredients that are passive ingredients. They just hydrate, full cover. They only work on the surface. So you look better, but it's not really having a meaningful effect. Then you've got active ingredients. Retinol is one of them that works on specific receptors, and you have an active cellular response. And then you have these ingredients that work on a signal level. Exosomes is one of them as well, growth factors, and then obviously some of the new ones as well. Then you've got two clocks. The one is your chronological clock, so that is how old you actually are. And the other one is your biological clock, and that's how well you've aged. For me, that was such a nice way when I had a call with the guys when they said to me, you know, what would be your definition of success in the cosmetic industry? Is if you get to a stage where people look at you and think, wow, you've really aged well, because I mean, aging is inevitable. So they even showed me some pictures and they asked me this question, and it really makes you think. So let's say there are identical twins and they were they were raised in different areas, or they were separated at birth. Do I think the two will look identical after, if they had to reunite them after maybe a few decades? And the answer is no, because your environment and your lifestyle plays a big role. And they actually showed a picture of how pronounced the effect can be in identical twins, depending on their lifestyle and the environment as well. So they also took me through the skin biology. So I'm not going to go through everything, but there's 12 hallmarks of aging that people usually look at when it comes to your skin and also aging. The one is genomic instability. So that is just when your cells are replicating, that DNA errors are accumulating. So it's like just corrupting your master document. Telomere attrition, you want your telomeres to be quite long because it gives you that DNA, or it protects your DNAs as well. Like I said, there's like a worn pencil eraser. Epigenetic alteration, so it just means that your gene settings are drifting. It's like autocorrecting, changing to wrong words. Loss of proteostasis, so misfolded proteins accumulating. It's like clutter blocking a factory floor. Disabled macroautophagy, cellular recycling shutting down, bins that never get emptied, and then deregulated nutrient sensing, so energy management going haywire. We'll see now. I will send you a handout after this class as well, just showing what happens in the cell and how important energy management is when it comes to aging as well. Then mitochondrial dysfunction. You can actually look at all of them yourself. I gave you very nice examples as well. Inflammation is there as well. I think we've spoken about low-grade inflammation that is actually just aging as well. And then dysbiosis, microbiome imbalance. So this is a background. And then, yeah, like I said, if you look at your cells, every 28 days, your cell makes a copy of itself using its own DNA blueprint. And as you age, this process is less optimal. So your telomeres shorten, each copy loses a tiny little bit of that telomere cap, information fades, you start getting less accurate instructions. It starts in your nucleus, it goes to your mitochondria, it affects your energy because that reactive oxygen species then just flood the cell. Your cell panics, it calls for help, and then it starts calling your NAD levels. People don't know what NAD is, they just know it's got something to do with energy, but this then also depletes them. And then if that is depleted, then your repair enzymes go dormant as well, and that's that SART enzymes or activity. So then the last part of this whole cycle is that you have these zombie cells that release inflammatory signals, and this cycle just accelerates, and actually you have less DNA that is transcribed from one cell to the next every time that it replicated. So what you want to do is to optimize this process, because this just describes the way that, or what happens when you age, but you want to turn back this clock. So what is this new ingredient that they have that sort of like gives your cell a signal to act younger? It's called Vitalis. It's also from a specific strain of a microalgae. It's also in a liposome, so it actually absorbs quite well, and it addresses 8 of the 12 hallmarks of aging and only one ingredient. And how does it do it? It delivers 3 key DNA repair enzymes directly into the cell nucleus. Remember, we spoke about now the cell replicating and everything that goes wrong. It actually blocks that whole process. These are the 3 enzymes that it sort of like injects into your cell. So you can see it guards your mitochondria, it neutralizes those reactive oxygen species, it boosts your own SOD, that's like your own antioxidant enzyme, superoxide dismutase, and it protects the mitochondrial DNA from oxidative damage. Also, it's got endonuclease and glycosylase in as well. So you can see what it does, cuts out damaged DNA segments at the chromosome ends and removes faulty DNA bases before they cause mutations. So this is quite technical, but what would that actually mean for you in your cell? It means that those NAD levels then increase, which is the energy. It then again activates that master repair switch. Remember, when the cell was under stress, that master repair switch was actually turned off. And then the cell's natural recycling and cleaning process can start again, and you have DNA repair. You've got less inflammation on the inside of the cell. And this ingredient also pairs quite well with niacinamide as well. So what does it mean? Obviously, this is clinically tested as well. Within 10 days, you had a 12% increase in your telomere length, which is very important because part of aging is that shortens. And with each part of it shortening, less DNA damage is transcribed, or you lose DNA information. And that leads to that whole cascade that we spoke about. It increased that activity of those enzymes by 18%, which is like your master switch. It increases the NAD levels, this is energy, by 35%, and 24% less DNA damage, which is great, but that still doesn't mean a lot to people because we're just worried about wrinkles and those things that you can actually see. I mean, these ingredients work on a level where it's not so easy to see it because it works on your cell, but what does that translate to? So here you can see they did 2 studies. They first started with a 2% inclusion of this new ingredient, and then they got such amazing results. And then they thought, okay, let's just see what happens if we do a 1% inclusion as well. And there you can see the results that they have. And remember, the scientist of the company said to me that you guys would know, we've spoken about it with our exometics. Within 14 days, you see results. Retinol or retinol at least 28, better after 56. But here you can see day 7, you already see results. Wrinkle volume reduction, skin firmness increase, skin elasticity increase. Obviously, it's higher with a higher inclusion, but it's still quite a significant effect. Skin radiance as well, and this is within only 7 days. So it is a type of ingredient that interacts with your cells and sort of instructs them just to act younger and just optimizes that whole process, and you can see results within 7 days. So this is not anti-aging anymore. This is longevity. Then something else. A lot of people have asked me for something for lips, which I don't have anything for lips. But there is another ingredient and another product that's going to be coming for lips. I will share in the handout some pictures of the studies they did, and I thought it's really amazing because one thing that really irks me, but it's just a personal thing, is if people go for fillers and things for their lips. It's like, I don't know, just I think for me, I just feel like it looks painful and etc. But everyone wants plumper lips. And I think a lot of us know that astaxanthin is very good for you, very strong antioxidant. The one that you get that you can ingest as well usually has 4% of the cis isomers. So this is the active part of the astaxanthin. So they've got a way of now treating this. This is the astaxanthin is microalgae based. In their bioreactors, so that they actually have 25% of the cis isomers. And this form is significantly more bioavailable and biologically more potent as well. So it's a nice rich type of oil. It gives your lips a nice tint as well, but then it also has some effects on your lips. So after you use a lip balm containing this rubinity, is what they call it, within 15 minutes, you have visible plumping after the first application. You have lip hydration after 4 hours. You have a 63% increase. Lip volume, he said that they were so amazed at these results. It's very similar to what you would see if people had to irritate their lips and maybe poke it with needles just to make it swell, to have that type of increase in volume, 16%. And then a collagen boost as well, collagen type 1 boost, 28%. So this is very nice. I think for me, I was very excited. I never thought about lips. I've had a lot of people ask me for lips, and how nice would it be to have a lip balm that actually treats your lips and have these type of effects. And because astaxanthin has a natural type of reddish color, it will also just give it that little bit of a tint as well. And then I thought just to bring in a slide or two, we've spoken about this quite a lot, but just for you guys to see it in perspective, exosomes are still something that is disrupting the skincare industry. The reason being also because it does work on a signal base. It fuses with your cells. It's like I said there, think of it as a FedEx package. Your cells send to each other loaded with repair instructions, growth signals, and renewal messages. It's also very, very small. It is the one ingredient in the range that penetrates the deepest. It's nanometers. It goes into the dermis of your cell. It's also very concentrated. There you can see it's at least 10 billion vesicles per mole, so it's very highly concentrated. There's a lot of proteins, lipids. It's a very rich functional cargo, and it's patented. It's biomimetic, so it's similar to human exosomes. Why is this important? Because I mean, retinol is the cornerstone of aging, and it probably the ingredient with the most data up to date when it comes to skincare. But remember, it is still something that's foreign to your skin as well. So a lot of, especially the older types of retinol, can be very irritating because it's not something that's naturally present on your skin. But exosomes is biomimetic. The ones that we are, or the microalgae based ones, is you do have exosomes. It's just as you age, you have slower production of exosomes. So this is just like replenishing what you're actually losing because of aging as well. And it carries all these different things: antioxidants, growth factors, DNA repair enzymes. So it's specialized. That's why the first, or broad, that's why the first amount of studies that they did with the exosomes were very much aimed at wound healing, general regeneration, things like that as well. But this ingredient has won 6 prizes up to date. So I still think it's still disrupting the industry, even though there is this focus on longevity, but it also fits into that category. Here you can just see, like I said, it's not an ingredient that sits on top of your skin to have an effect. It actually works much deeper. It stimulates your collagen. If you look there, matrix remodeling stimulates collagen, reduces the enzymes that break down the collagen as well. You've got the cellular longevity there. We've got that same enzyme again that actually that you want to increase, so it can just break down everything that you don't need. It's got the cellular renewal, it's got the growth factors there as well, and then the skin immunity, reducing the pro-inflammatory signals as well. So it has an anti-inflammatory effect, hence people use it that are very red and irritated, whatever, it still stays like a great all over ingredient to use. Retinol is still also, like I said, retinol is the one ingredient that's got the most body of results. Most people know it, most people want to use it. There's a big focus on alternatives because of the redness and the irritation. And most of the ingredients overseas, once there's a new ingredient or new technology, they always test head to head with retinol. And the reason why they do that is because there's the most data on retinol, and the most people know what the effects of that is in terms of aging, in terms of turnover of your skin, collagen production, etc. What makes retinol so great is the fact that it only works on the one receptor, only the one for the efficacy, no redness, no irritation. It's also in a liposome. A product is only as well as what it absorbs. You don't want it to just sit on your skin, otherwise it's just superficial. You have that 65.6% penetration, I think it's, versus 3% if it's not in a liposome. So you have the activity without any peeling, photosensitivity. You can use it when you're pregnant and lactating as well. So it's still a very, very nice ingredient. It's still one of the big trends in skincare is retinol alternatives. Here we have the results. I think you guys know this. Within 28 days, you have a significant wrinkle reduction and improvement in texture. And after 56 days, it's even better. And people don't, I mean, a lot of people, I hear this all the time. People would say to me, oh, I can't use retinol. I've tried to use it. It causes all this redness and irritation. But then they start using retinol without any issues. So I don't have any reservations in recommending it to people, even if they do have sensitive skin as well. Yeah, this is just a summary of retinol versus retinol. And what you can do from a formulation point of view is there's good synergy as well. That's why I have retinol and bakuchiol and hydroxypinocolone as well in my range. Different mechanisms that all actually work quite well. But yeah, you can see the retinol in terms of the activity and what you can use it for definitely outperforms other options that you have. Then some very nice ingredients that are also coming to the forefront. This is also biotech based. This is growth factors. Growth factors have been around for a long time. The problem with them traditionally is that they're not stable. So you can have growth factors. Your product will probably be active for 1 week maximum. But what they did at this company in France as well is they took the growth factors, they isolated them and they're actually growing them in a plant base or within plants, and then they're fusing them with oleosomes, which then means it's like a liposome, but it's like a vesicle that you have these growth factors in, which actually increases the stability quite significantly. And these ones have similar effects to the exosomes or the exometics, but it's more targeted, where the exometics have got a lot of different signals, a lot of broader effects that it work on. These ones work very specific on two different pathways. So the one is your epidermal growth factor. So it firms your skin, reduces wrinkles, it boosts collagen 1. And the nice thing is you get results within 14 days. They also did a head-on trial with retinol, where they actually outperformed retinol as well. So this is much more targeted. It's not general regeneration. This is, if you use that first one, Pure Vita, you know that your collagen is going to increase. The one below that, Pure is your fibroblast growth factor. This is more for pigmentation, so it is obviously much more stable than the normal growth factor that you used to get. And what this does is it reduces the melanin in spots, restores your barrier, and also a secondary effect, it boosts your collagen. They do recommend the two together. If not, if you had to just go with one of them, the Pure Vita is the one that they would recommend. I'm looking at these ingredients also for hair loss. They have great data also where you can expect results within 14 days. And this is just growth factors. So, but very specialized. But the exosomes are still, in general, very nice as well. But then, yeah. Here I try to just sort of like create an overview as well. So here you have the Vitalis. This is the whole new paradigm shift. The ingredient is brand new. It's only been launched now. So as I said, moving away from anti-aging, we're now going for longevity serum. So we're trying to tell the cell to act younger, to this whole replication process we are targeting. And as you can see, it has, it actually, according to them, they had results within 7 days, which is the fastest that they've ever seen results. That Rubinity is the one that's specifically for your lips. Really very much looking forward to that. There is a lot of data also showing that hair and lips are also a focus point when it comes to skincare. People don't really look after their lips. Previously there's been a big focus on lip balms and things, especially with SPF protection. A lot of people still put protection on their face, but they forget about their skins. But this is a very nice ingredient to also give your lips that attention that they need. Exometics, I don't have to tell you anything about it. We've spoken about it so much, but it still stays cutting edge. There's still some exometics out there, and it's still very much a hype. Retinol is also still a hype because all the retinol alternatives, or people are still comparing their ingredients head to retinol as well. And then the growth factors. I think I will probably be bringing in some growth factors into Vitins as well, because I do like it. It's very targeted. Especially when I had the presentation today, it really spoke to me. So I think the focus going forward, I'll be looking at the 50+ category, because as the scientist also said to me, his wife is nearing 50, her hair's getting less, the skin's changing. There is a lot of changes that come for you with menopause or being 50, and then having more targeted ingredients that work specifically on certain pathways could possibly be something good. And he said that it was actually, I think it's something like 45% of women from age 50 have hair issues or hair loss, maybe due to hormonal issues as well. So definitely something that will have some attention. And in terms of skincare, when it comes to hair, there's a big shift. People were very much focused on hair, shampoos, treatments, whatever. And as he said to me, you can put on your hair just what you want. that's not where you're creating the differences. You have to work on the follicle. And that's exactly what they did with all their technology as well. You want the follicle to be very healthy, because once that follicle died, there's not really much that you can do. So regardless, you can do to your hair whatever you want, as long as you really look after your follicle and apply the right type of ingredients to your follicle that revitalizes them, and make sure that there's enough nutrients and have like proven mechanisms of action as well. Yeah, and this is just an overview of some of the new trends. Beauty is evolving beyond the surface. We are now reprogramming skin at a cellular level, basically in terms of just aging well, I would say. And that to me really was it made me think when you asked me what would be success for me in the cosmetic industry, and saying that people would say, yeah, she's aged well. And you can see the health of your skin is also very, very important, and having a look at what changes and trying to just stop that, but on a level that's much deeper, going to your cell, going to your mitochondria, and just creating effects there. Cool. So let me just stop this. Cool. And my dog is snoring.